up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and honey, we are down here again, honey. I recorded a whole video. Mic wasn't on. So I was like, we got to do it again. So I had to go home, come back down again, because I had to go home and do some stuff real quick. And so we are back down here. We are back down here, honey. Let's see if my parking space is gone, girl. I'm a little annoyed because it was 40 minutes. And I don't like to repeat myself. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So let's go. I cussed Teresa's ass out. She's good. She's lucky. She's lucky I have to do this over again. And then I'm not gonna cuss her out. Okay. So let's go. I hate doing stuff twice because I don't feel like I want one take. One take. Stupid. Anyway, so I started watching the episode again. Okay, so we know that the episode, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, let the diva know you stopped by. The episode is going to be in 3 parts. So hopefully it's good every 3 parts. You know, I prefer a 2-part reunion because I feel like the second part usually is nothing. It means nothing. It's like a filler episode. They give the updates on all the women. He goes around like he always does, you know. And they said, was it hard for Dolores to open up about just to open up about her relationship and stuff like that? She said it was hard. It was uncomfortable. She's not used to doing that. How did Jackie feel about like kind of lending a hand or being there for Jennifer? She said, because I would have liked that last year. I would have liked for somebody to do that for me last year. And then Andy said something about their situations being similar. And she said, Jennifer said our situations being similar. And Jackie was like, our situations are not similar. My husband did not cheat on me. She was like, oh, I was just asking. Like, oh, God. I'm telling you, I let them have it on that last review. I did. I was so mad when I realized that the microphone was not on. Because I really let Jennifer and her stupid ass and Teresa and her stupid ass have it. I let them have it. They look like fucking idiots. Tweedledee and Tweedledum up there at the goddamn Mad Hatter's fucking party. Jennifer practically sitting on Teresa's lap. It is just beyond me. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand where it's coming from or why she is making these choices. Like, it's so weird. Like, that's why I was like saying, it's like, it's weird that it feels like you're literally in Alice in Wonderland. And it's like Teresa wants everybody outside of herself to abide by the rules she set forth, but she does not have to abide by those same rules. Even to the point where she literally was like, when they said Melissa wasn't going to be a bridesmaid. And then she says, well, it's my wedding. And then she says, what kind of sister-in-law? She says, well, you were a bridesmaid in Melissa's wedding. She says, yeah, and I was pregnant. What kind of sister-in-law would plan a wedding around my pregnancy? Why wouldn't she wait? Like, she literally wanted her to postpone her wedding until she gave birth. And a good sister-in-law would have done that. However, she's not being a good sister-in-law by leaving Melissa out of the wedding, and she doesn't seem to understand that. Like, you're not being a good sister-in-law. It's like a walking contradiction. It's just like everything is like it's upside down. It's crazy. And it's really irritating for me when people play along with that. They do that shit with Portia. They do that with these women who are not all there. Like, they're less than smart from my perspective. And it's like, how could you? It's just, and it's like, and then she sits there like dumb all the time. It's like, why? And then the family thing. I'm so glad that Melissa said, nobody believes you when you say that all you care about is the family, the family, the family. It's bullshit. You don't like me. You don't like Joe. It's not about family. Leave it alone. It's over with. Stop playing that game. We're not playing that game. We're not playing. Baby, I tell you, I read Teresa fucking down. Mm-mm-mm. There must be a reason why that microphone wasn't on, honey, because I let her have it. Dolores was telling Margaret and Jennifer that they were both right. And so Jocelyn Jackie told Jennifer Dolores might not be the friend you think she is. She said, that was the first thing she said to me. She was like, that is not the first thing I said to you. But she was playing the fence. I talked to Margaret every night, and Margaret said that Dolores thought she was right, but Dolores is telling Jennifer she was right. Why did she jump ship? Why did she change her mind? I was wondering, like, why she changed her mind, because it's really just to protect Margaret. And then she was like, are you really saying that to me? Like, then they started getting to it. She told her to shut the fuck up. She had a hidden agenda, and she was just really trying to protect her friend. And then she said, did you think you were cold by telling Jennifer not to cry? You know me, I don't care about crying. I think crying is probably better than actually losing control over your body like Teresa does. Teresa and Dolores act out in rage because they are traditional women who don't show their emotions, so they push them down. So when it's actually time for them to emote, it's in rage because they don't have a handle on their emotions. Dolores says she has a core anger about her that she has learned to control. And Andy and everybody agreed, yeah, we all need to control it. And that comes with just getting older. And a lot of the times, the tears is to help you regulate your emotions. I cry for everything, though. Happy, sad, mad, angry. The tears, that's a release. And when you hold those, you're like stifling your emotions. And that's why they act out like that. Because they don't have a good handle on their emotions. They're too busy trying to be strong. And then for women to look to other women and say that crying is weak is a male identified point of view. Because that's how you're taught. And it's odd that women will take a male identified point of view when it comes to crying, right? And then take it on to the point where you look at other people who cry as weak. And there are thousands of people who look at crying as a sign of weakness. When, again, people cry for a plethora of things, like so many things. I don't feel like crying is a sign of weakness. I don't feel like crying is a loss of control. What Teresa does is a loss of control. Teresa probably would do better crying. We rarely see Teresa cry because she sees crying as a sign of weakness. But to me, when you are out of control, that's a weak bitch. You weak. You don't have enough self-control that as an adult, almost 50 years old, that you can't be angry without completely tearing up the place. And we all need to get out of that. And that's what Andy said. Melissa was like, facts. Like, and then Teresa over there looking down because she's the village idiot who doesn't know how to regulate her emotions, who also wants everyone to follow rules that she doesn't follow, who doesn't want you to talk about things going on in her life. And instead of talking about those things, she creates a grand deflection to the point where she's physically acting out towards Margaret. And I'm so happy that Andy said before Margaret uttered a word, there were stories about Louis. But you want people to act like nothing is happening with Louis. You don't want it brought up on camera. But your storyline for this season was your relationship with this man. He's now going to come on the show. You're going to be in a relationship. But there's stories coming out. And for Margaret, she wasn't saying anything negative. You thought it was negative because you didn't want it brought up. Because you know the stories are negative. The stories that you are choosing to ignore. They're hating. They're thirsty. They're desperate. And you're ignoring those. And didn't I tell you on a review? I said, I hope that Teresa makes it with Louis. But the sirens need to go off when he starts to isolate her. And by isolating her, that is not allowing Melissa in the wedding. It's my wedding. Okay, that's fine. Sitting Melissa and her brother and their family at another table at the engagement party, separating them, and then not inviting your childhood friend that you've been on a reality show with. You've known her since you were teenagers. You're not inviting her to your engagement party because she's not a couple, even though she's been on this show for 10 years. Almost 10 years, and has never been a couple, but yet and still she finds a way to go on couples trips with who? Frank Catania. So I'm not sure why Frank and Dolores were not invited, because Frank has been your friend since you were kids too. So Louis, sounds like Louis is isolating you, and you were the type of woman too chicken shit to get out of something because you're too deep in it, and you're defending this man who has questionable character in his previous relationships that you are choosing to ignore. You're walking into a burning house, and Dolores is like, let her walk in there, rescue dog and all. Let her walk in there. Let her do it. But you don't want anybody to talk about his character to the point where you're throwing shit across the table at somebody. And then you say you were provoked because you were called a liar because you came up with a lie in your head in order to create a deflection. In order to create a deflection, you've done all that. Would you walk down, if you were to meet somebody in a dark alley, would you be afraid of Teresa or Dolores? Everybody said Dolores. Dolores said Teresa, of course, still kissing her ass. But did y'all see how Dolores was sitting there looking at Teresa? She was like looking at her like, girl, I can't believe this. That little dog. Girl, I cannot believe you are acting like that. It's crazy. Jennifer and Dolores start getting into it. They start hollering at each other. At one point, she said, shut the fuck up talking to me like that. Jennifer is insensitive. She's not sensitive. She's insensitive. It's stupid to believe that Jennifer was happy. I am happy. I am happy. Well, then act like it. Act like you're happy. If you're happy in your marriage and your relationship, when you walk into this house, don't start crying because it's going to look like you're not secure in your marriage and your relationship. Jennifer tells Margaret that she's so happy-go-lucky that Margaret couldn't take it. Girl, you're living in a lie. You are frolicking in a field of daisies, and your husband is sticking his dick, that's the truth, sticking his dick in someone else, and yet still you just want to frolic like Teresa, just frolic in the delusion. And just be like, I don't care, I'm gonna stifle it down. My husband cheated on me while I was in my most vulnerable state of being as a woman, creating a baby. And he cheated on you. And yet still you mad at Margaret. You mad at everybody else but him. And you mad at Jackie because she said he was sticking his dick in somebody. And that's the truth. Because you're over here trying to take the brunt of it. And you've been socialized to do so. Even though you know that you are stupid as hell for staying with a man after he done stuck his dick in somebody else. But y'all have been socialized to believe that that's just what men do. And so you sit your silly ass and stay in these relationships. That's fine. Do what you want, what you need to do. But then you want to enforce and get mad at other people for speaking the truth. It's supposed to be vulgar, and it's not supposed to taste good. It's supposed to taste bitter. When somebody says your husband was sticking his dick in other people and you took him back. Take him back. But you're socialized to do that. And everyone knows it's out of order to dishonor a commitment like that. Everyone knows it's out of order, but you've been socialized to believe that that's just what men do. So you accept it. But then you enforce that stupid shit and want everyone else to fall in line with your delusion, not ask questions, not talk about it, not bring it up on camera. While Jennifer, you run around tenafly trying to figure out who Evan was cheating with. He wasn't cheating, bitch. It was your husband who was cheating. But you mad at Margaret. Like your mom, your silly ass mom, after being brought over to the United States from Turkey at 16 years old with a man 10 years older than her. All the shit she went through, what we see her going through, how she resents your father, and yet and still she's mad at Margaret for letting the world know that your husband cheated on you. Not mad at him though. Not mad at him. Protect his image. Protect his image. And you sit there, you and Teresa, sit there at the Mad Hatter's table and want everybody to fall in line with your delusions. And you literally over there, you are the wife of an astute plastic surgeon. Literally. But you are positioning yourself as the flunky to the village idiot. Can you imagine? What choices have you made in life to where you are actually the flunky to the dummy? That's why I don't understand Shamia. How y'all flunkies to the dummies? I couldn't position myself like that, sidekick or not. No, ma'am. And you sitting over there with your ponytail, just as dumb and stupid as she is, mad at all the women instead of actually being mad at your husband. Mad at everybody talking about Louis instead of actually being like, you know what, this probably isn't the right relationship. It was fun while it lasted, but you have a sketchy past. We both have past. Do you have a past of fighting men? Do you have a past of slashing men's tires, Teresa? No. He has a past that's directly related to how he deals with women. He's probably unsuitable for partnership. But he got a little money, got a nice house, so you think he's a viable partner. And he's out here in the woods, jacking dicks, trying to get in touch with his emotions. And you don't want nobody to say anything about him. But you can run around telling everybody at a party, Evan, did you hear what Evan do at the thing? And you don't understand. And then you want somebody to announce the use of an analogy. You're dumb, Jennifer, and you are actually the sidekick to the dummy. Girl, you might have to step outside yourself and look back into yourself and ask yourself, what decisions have I made in life to where I'm the sidekick to the dunce of the crew? If you in a happy marriage, bitch, act like it. Jennifer said if she's hurt, she can't control her emotions. That's the problem. But you see crying as a loss or you being out of control with your emotions. To me, crying is not being out of control with your emotions. The way that Teresa acts, the way that Portia acts, the way that these women who lose control over their bodies for the smallest things. Because we can understand when people lose control. We understand whether we agree with them losing control or not. But the circumstances leading up to the loss of control, you can look at it and be like, oh, I understand why she went there. No one understood why Teresa did what she did in Tennessee. Nobody. Not even the men. They were like, that was unprovoked. And yet and still, Teresa turns around and believes that she was provoked because Margaret called her a liar, because she decided to make up a lie in her head that Margaret was putting shit in the blogs when As Andy stated, before Margaret uttered a word, the stories were out there. So you can't blame Margaret as a way to deflect from us actually talking about it. And that was Teresa's objective this whole time. Focus the attention on Margaret, get out of control angry with Margaret, instead of actually addressing what we are hearing in the blogs. Margaret has nothing to do with the stories that the women are coming out. But you've decided to tell yourself that. You've decided to tell yourself that to the point of you losing control of your emotions. Why did you say he stuck his dick in somebody? What was wrong with that? Because it was just unsympathetic. It didn't sound right. It sounded vile and nasty. That's how it's supposed to sound. Because while you bitches are living in a fantasy world, your husband is laying on top of a woman, stroking his penis in and out of her vagina. No, you don't like the way it sounds, but he did it. And you decided to ignore it while you were pregnant. But you mad at Margaret for bringing it out, for popping your bubble. Your love bubble. You mad at Margaret, though. Even your mama's mad at Margaret. Girl, y'all are lost. And then Teresa, girl, how the fuck you say something is not classy? You're the wrong person for anybody to take any lessons in etiquette from you at all. Girl, we're not looking to you to figure out what class is while you're over here telling everybody your coochie tastes like pineapples. But you're mad at the word dick, at the truth. Girl, shut up. And don't nobody care if you, Jackie said she don't care. I don't care if you're my friend or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, girl. Who are you? No, nobody. Jennifer is the only one who wants to be the flunky to the dummy. She's the only one. Don't nobody else want to be a flunky to the dummy. All these people, girl. See, that's why I'm down here a little later than usual. Teresa is hypocritical with the Evan situation. Prove it, bitch. Prove it, bitch. Didn't you just say somebody was not classy? Girl, you're out of control. You sent Jennifer to go ask your little puppy. You sent your little puppy to go ask. You over there with your little ponytail going around town asking about Evan while your husband was down leaving 2 offices because he was fucking the office manager in one and then having an affair with the lady who does the accounts receivable in the other one. Girl. But you mad at Margaret. You send Jennifer to go ask, and that's what's so stupid. It's like you literally went snooping on a lie when in the truth is that your husband is the cheater. Not Evan. Your husband. But you mad at Margaret. There was no digging. And then Jennifer said that somebody was an insecure follower. Girl, Jennifer, that's how you know that they're less than smart, because you're literally projecting. You are literally on Teresa's on her thigh. Like go back and look at how close Jennifer is sitting to Teresa. And yet and still Jennifer is coming out her face saying that Jackie is insecure and a follower. Did you hear when Teresa told Melissa, see where you're sitting on the other side? Girl, I wouldn't sit next to you. I'm not sitting next to you. We don't get along. And that's why I'm so mad at Teresa, or so mad at Melissa, for even acting like she cared that she wasn't in this woman's wedding. Why are you acting like you care? Why are you acting like you care? You don't care. And, your mother, I painted your mother's toenails. So what? She don't give a fuck about you, and you should act like you don't give a fuck about her. Stop playing with Teresa. Stop playing with her. Girl, I don't care about your wedding. You probably won't be married for more than 5 years, because you're going to get tired of his shit. And when we see Teresa's hairline go from here to here, we're going to know something. Louie's over there sending her through her shit. But she has to keep a smile on her face, protect his image while you're going through hell, and blame everybody outside of him for your situation. Don't bring it up. Don't talk about it. Did you hesitate on bringing Louis on the show? Yeah, because, you know, he didn't sign up for this. Louis has signed a document to allow Bravo, NBC, Universal to use his likeness. He has stood while a producer and whoever the hell mic'd him up to put a mic on him. He signed up for this. He signed up for it so much that the only reason why he talks to Joe Gorga is to talk about what happened on the show. And I'll tell you one thing, Teresa. If he doesn't want cameras around, just let you know you're in some big trouble. If he tries to convince you to get off of the show, I really believe that Teresa's safety is in those cameras being in there. Because the way the stories about Louis, I'm going to go with what the other women say. I'm not worried about, oh, he's a different person. I'm going to listen to what those other women said. And I'm going to look for the similarities. And when he starts acting like that, like those women said, don't forget what those women said about him. And I love that Andy is asking him those questions. And then you want to throw it off as like these women are just bitter and thirsty and whatever else. No, you terrorize those women and they're telling their story. And then you have this girlfriend here who doesn't want anybody to repeat what these other women are saying. To the point where she's throwing cups and plates and dishes across tables and stuff to create a distraction. Because she was called a liar. He's dating a public figure. And before Margaret uttered a word, there were stories out about him. He's a different person. He's gone from caveman to Oprah. I don't get that. I didn't understand that. She says she wasn't in love with Joe. She married him to get out of the house. She put up with a lot of shit. Your friend Dolores said it was like he got the dog out of the shelter. That's how you're acting. You're acting like a loyal animal. If I've rescued you out of this shelter, I can do anything. And I'm just going to be loyal, loyal, loyal. Don't say anything bad about my loyal and my owner. That's what she compared you to. I didn't do that. She compared you to it. She did. The prenup. Another dummy move. She says getting a prenup is shameful and that you're supposed to get married for love. That's why the divorce rate is so high, because you dumbasses have bought into the idea of getting married for love, and that opened access to these men who don't have anything. And you're marrying for love when you should be marrying for security and to create a business to where you can build an empire in your business and in your family. And you have acquired all of these assets after all these years of being on this show, and you don't want to sign a prenup because it's shameful. Jennifer, you are sitting next to the village idiot. You are the flunky to the village idiot. And then you have her dumbass, silly ass daughter up there at the table at Mad Hatter's birthday party saying, I mean, she loves him. What kind of dumbass shit? Don't say no dumb shit like that to me. That's how I know, like, you guys are dumb. You're dumb. You're a 50-year-old woman who has acquired assets over the last 10 years on your own on this show. And you're going to meet a dude after 1 year, decide to marry him. This is at 50. This is not at 23. This is not at 30. This is at 50. After you done gone to jail for a nigga, okay? And you're not about to sign a prenup and protect your assets and the things that you've worked hard for because you love him and you feel like it's shameful to protect your assets, girl. That's your queen. That's y'all queen. That is y'all queen. Dolores didn't get an invite to the engagement party. We already talked about that. That's Louis isolating her friends from her. I told y'all. I don't give a damn how much money they make. I don't give a damn what color they are. They are all socialized the same. And they are all socialized to be in relationship with women. And the way that they define their manhood is how well they can control a woman. And you are falling into that and saying, what excuse could you come up with to not invite your childhood friend to your wedding? It was a couple's event. And she's not a couple. But Frank has been Dolores's partner for the last however many years she's been on this show. We've never seen David and Dolores in a couple situation. It's always been Frank and Dolores. And Frank is also your childhood friend. So you couldn't invite your two childhood friends who used to be married, who are now have a great relationship and do things together as partners still. Now, and not putting Melissa in the wedding, Melissa acting like you give a shit, girl, hang it up. You should have said, bitch, fuck your wedding. That's what you should have said. And I really want someone to just really pop Teresa's bubble. Like, girl, shut the fuck up. You sound absolutely crazy. Did you hear Andy? At some points, he sounded like he understood that Teresa is delusional. Like, I think everybody is clear, but it's like no one is saying like it plainly. It's like they're still like running around. There's so many people at the park. They're still like, moving it around like she's like slow, like something's wrong with her. No, bitch, I don't give a fuck about your wedding. I don't. Fuck your wedding. But with Dolores, I don't like that. I don't like that. We're not close. It's sad. Who's been there? I've been there for your family. Stop faking. You're close with Marge. You sat at the friends table. You didn't even sit us at the family table. She tells Margaret to shut the fuck up, stupid bitch. She says that I'm happy for you. Have your wedding. You should have postponed your wedding until it's like literally immediately after saying, bitch, we're not close. I don't want you in my wedding. Then you turn around and say, I feel a certain way because she had her wedding while I was pregnant. You didn't even like Melissa when she married your brother. You didn't like her, and yet and still she had your raggedy ass in her wedding. Girl, get out of here. And I'm just trying to keep the peace. If you want to keep the peace, she tells Melissa, if you want to keep the peace, but you could not put the girl in your wedding, you could not invite Dolores, you could sit them at the friends table instead of the family table, your only brother, but you want them to keep the peace. And that's the problem. They're trying to keep the peace to keep you from losing your shit. They need to stop it. And I'm so glad Melissa said, the family thing, girl, it's bullshit. It's straight up bullshit. Cut it out. Teresa could not give an example of when she had Melissa's back. The lights went out. Girl, you lying. Turn the lights out. She couldn't think of nothing. Well, the time where roll the tapes. I can't remember. They don't have no tapes. They didn't roll nothing. Roll the tapes. No rolling. Crickets. Nothing. They had nothing. Nothing. You've never liked Melissa, but yet you expect Melissa to treat you with high regard and honor you and this, but you don't even like Melissa. You don't even like Melissa. The double standard. I'm done with this double standard. She could not give one example. How would you like it if your niece was speaking to Teresa that way? Well, that wouldn't happen because I'm not doing anything wrong. But if Antonia would have spoke to Teresa the way that Gia spoke to Joe, Teresa wouldn't like it because it's a clear double standard. And it's like, why do we keep placating to Teresa as if she has some kind of leverage or power. It's like, I don't understand it. And it's like, that's why I think something is wrong with her, because she clearly, to me, is an idiot, an imbecile. She is. And for people to be like moving around her so she won't get mad, Jennifer practically sitting on her lap with her fucking ponytail going from side to side. It's like, girl, for Teresa, like, girl, I can't do it. How would you like it if her father was still alive and you let this woman call me a crook? Joe comes out, right? He comes out, he's sitting there, he's tired of Teresa's shit. And then she's like, well, you are a bitch boy. And it's like, are you crazy? Like, and then you expect, well, you need to say something to Margaret. You need to say something to Joe. But nobody can say nothing to Louis. Nobody can ask Louis anything. And you want them to say something to Margaret and Joe because they are asking about these stories. Well, she is asking about these stories about Louis. Girl, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. And like literally the fact that Teresa is allowed to live in this Alice in Wonderland, and then like in order to start like having conversations with her, it's like you literally have to be like Alice and fall down the fucking rabbit hole and then listen to this woman's logic and her reasoning. And it's like, that's why I be looking like, this shit is dumb. These people are dumb. And it makes you feel dumb if you kind of find yourself in that, like getting involved in that. That's why Jackie is like, girl, I can't do it. Margaret, no, we're not doing this. We're not playing these games with Teresa. And the double standard is clear. The double standard is clear. That's it, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Jennifer, girl, you need to reevaluate your position on this show. You are literally like the mean girls, the dumb chick. Like Teresa's the mean girl, the main mean girl, and you're the dumb chick behind her with the ponytail flopping from side to side like a Pekingese dog on her lap. Like, literally. With your nose over there looking like Roxanne. And it's like, both of y'all are the same because you wanted to live in a fantasy where you don't want anybody saying that your husband stuck his dick in somebody. You don't want to talk about it. It wasn't in the press. It wasn't out. Girl, it's a mess. Anyways, y'all take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.